We will be doing decarbonizing of lungs exercise. In this, all our carbon dioxide goes out and the fresh oxygen comes in. When we bring the hands down, carbon dioxide goes out, and when we raise the hands up, fresh air and more oxygen enters in. We'll do it 10 times. Now we'll stop, we'll take some breathing, stomach breathing, so that entire muscles get exercise. Muscles of the stomach gets exercise. Initially we do it 10 times, then it slowly and steadily will increase to 20 times after a week's time. Now we do the second part in this. The thumbs will be inside our fist. Now bring it down like a bird. Now we do, during pause period, we do stomach breathing. In stomach breathing, we take the air straight up to the stomach and breathe out from the stomach. These are the two parts of decarbonizing of lungs exercise. They increase our immunity. We don't get virus if we do it 20 times daily. If we do daily, only 3 minutes will be required and will be saved from virus. It increases our immunity, and it also increases our aura of the face. It also increases our willpower. Now, initially we have to do these both things 10 times, then after a week's time we can increase it to 20 times. In the second part, it is just like a wing of a bird. We bring it down, the carbon dioxide goes out. When we raise the elbows and fist up, more and more oxygen enters in. Now, in the winter season, we do Suryabhedi Pranayam. In Suryabhedi Pranayam, we take the breath through right nostril and breathe out from the left nostril. And during summer season, we do Chandrabhedi Pranayam. In Chandrabhedi Pranayam, we breathe in from left nostril, breathe out from the right nostril. And in normal season, we do Anulom Vilom Bhastrika, Anulom Vilom Pranayam. In Anulom Vilom, we'll breathe in from one nostril, breathe out from other, breathe in from the second, breathe out from the first. So, we'll do normal Anulom Vilom Pranayam. Breathe in from one nostril, breathe out from second. And while breathing out, at the end you have to push the stomach inside, so entire carbon dioxide goes out and we have more space for the oxygen and full air. Every time when we are breathing in, make a feeling that God's energy is going inside, it is going to charge each cell of the body. While breathing out, you have to make a feeling that all diseases are going out. We do it minimum 10 times daily. We can, depending upon availability of time, we can increase it to 20, 15, whatever it is. But since we have to do many more things, so we limit it to 10 times daily. Now we'll be doing Bhastrika Pranayam. In Bhastrika Pranayam, we have to breathe in forcefully and breathe out. While breathing out, you have to push the stomach inside so that the next breath will be longer and you have more oxygen, more air to come in. I'll show you. Initially it is done 10 times daily, then it's slowly increasing to 20 in a week's time, then 30, then 40, then increase it up to 100 times in a month's time. You have to do, if you do 100 times, you will get lot of more and more oxygen. You will be able to have longer breath throughout the day, and it will also increase your willpower, and it will supply oxygen to the entire body, and all functions of the body will improve. Now we'll do Kapalbhati Pranayam. Initially, for the beginners, it is to be done 20-30 times daily, then it has to be increased in a month's time up to 200 times. One cannot do 200 times in one stretch, so once he gets tired after 20 or 30, he should stop, take 4-5 breaths, and then start again. Keep a count, so every day you can increase 5-10 and go up to 200 times in a month's time. And we have to do 200 times daily after practice of 1 month, because we are, and by the Kapalbhati Pranayam, 3-4 organs get activated: liver, pancreas, kidney. They all will get compressed by this stomach Kapalbhati Pranayam. And also, if there is fatness on the stomach, it will also go, and overweight will also reduce slowly. I'll show you how to do it. If you feel pain slightly on the back side, then we can take support of the hands and start doing this. Then we can also do sideways. We put one hand on the back side and look to the sideways. Then to the other side. Then after you reach a level of 100 or more, then we can do on the sides. We can sit in the comfortable position, take the help of one elbow and breathe out, push the stomach inside. Then change the side. I will show the movement of stomach in this Kapalbhati, so that you can try. You can just observe your stomach also going in or not going in. I will just push the stomach inside and breath will go out, and once I leave the stomach, the breath will come in automatically. During this Kapalbhati Pranayam, you don't have to make any effort for breathing in or breathing out. I will show the movement of the stomach while doing Kapalbhati. I will push the stomach inside, then leave it. Now we'll do Kapol Shakti Vikasa Kriya. In Kapol Shakti Vikasa Kriya, we'll breathe out through nostril completely, then close the nostril, then start breathing in through mouth, making it as small as possible like a crow. While breathing in, we have to make a feeling that God's energy is going inside. It is going to charge each cell of the body. And we'll first, when we are breathing in, we first feel the chest, then feel the cheeks, and then touch the chin to the chest and fingers also to the chest. I will show. breathe out when you are not able to hold more, and it removes the impurities of the chicks. This kapol is the Sanskrit word. It is chicks. Name in Hindi is English is chicks. And we do it once more, 2 times. While we are holding the breath, we can either do Sakshi Dhyan, or we can pray to our own God. Next, we will be doing Karna Shakti Vikasa Kriya. In Karna Shakti Vikasa Kriya, we close the flaps of the ears like this, earlobes like this from both sides. Then breathe out. We close after breathing out, we close the nostril by these 2 fingers, and then start breathing through mouth, making it as small as possible. Like in the Kapal Shakti Vikasa Kriya, we'll fill the chest, fill the cheeks, and touch the chin here, like in Kapal Shakti Vikasa Kriya. And precaution in this Karna Shakti Vikasa Kriya is that we have to breathe out first. After breathing out completely, only then we have to leave the earlobes. Otherwise, it will be damaging the ears. So this precaution is very essential. We have to keep in mind. I'll show how to do it. In Karna Shakti Vikasa Kriya, also while holding the breath, we can do Sakshi Dhyan, or we can pray to our own God, whichever we like. We have to take advantage. And in breathing in also, we have to make a feeling that God's energy is going inside. It is going to charge each cell of the body. We'll do it once more. Precaution is to be always taken care of, that you don't have to leave earlobes before breathing out. First you have to breathe out completely, then you have to leave the earlobes. Now we'll be doing Bhramari Pranayam. In Bhramari Pranayam also we will be closing the earlobes of the ears, and inside our body we'll be making effort for speaking Om, but our mouth will remain closed. The sound will come through our nostril like a humming sound. I'll show. In this Bhramari Pranayam, lots of vibrations are generated, and those vibrations activate the brain cells, and very, very beneficial for our brain and memory. It's good for students. Now we'll do Udgit Pranayam. In the Udgit Pranayam, 2 persons will sit facing each other, 2 ladies or 2 gents together, because this sound of ladies is similar and sound of men are similar, so it helps vibration. This helps of the vibration of each person helps the other partner. Now we'll sit together. You can come, Krishna, here. Bring your... No, don't disturb it. Don't disturb it. Okay. Yes, you'll have to come here. In this Udgit Pranayam, we'll be speaking Om. We'll devote 2/3 time on O and 1/3 time on Ma. And we'll be starting together. And we'll not be finishing same time because length of the breath of each individual is separate. So we'll try to match the sound and keep our eyes closed. And after each Udgit Pranayam, we'll take one breath and breathe out first. Once. Now breathe in.
Madam, please, can you take him away, please? Can you please take him away? No.
Now we'll be doing the stretching of the hands. We have to stretch our hands, then pull the hands inside, apply full force on the hands. The force should be so much that there will be shivering in the hands.
Tanji.
Do it 5 times.
Turn.
Oh. Now pull the hands inside, apply full force. Apply full force. Force should be to that extent that there is shivering in the hands. You have to do minimum 5 times and slowly increase after a week's time to 10 times each day. It increases the muscle power, strength of the hands. Do it 5 times in the beginning, then increase it to 10 times. Now we'll make circle of the elbows. Make 5 circles. Try to touch your elbows every time. 5 circles in one direction, 5 circles in the reverse direction. This is the exercise for the shoulder joints. Now, exercise for the neck. We'll be moving the neck to one side and then to the other side very slowly and gently. No impulse is to be applied. Go very slowly. Keep the eyes closed. Go very slowly. No impulse should be applied. Slowly, slowly, slowly. 5 times each side. We have to go 5 times each side. Next exercise is we will make circles of the neck, bigger and bigger circles, 5 circles in one direction, 5 circles in the reverse direction. Keep the eyes closed during making circles, and even after 10 circles you have to keep your eyes closed for few seconds. At the end of 10 circles your mind will become blank and thoughtless. We have to take advantage of the thoughtlessness for the Sakshi Dhyan at the end. Keep the eyes closed after 5 circles. If you have more time, you can do more circles, but equal number of circles should be done in the reverse side. Now keep the eyes closed. No thoughts are left in the mind at this state. We can take advantage of the thoughtlessness in Sakshi Dhyan. Now next exercise is for the neck is we have to put the palm on the cheeks, and against the pressure of palm we have to take the neck to the other side. We have to apply as much as force possible, as much as force the neck can bear. We have to do 5 times each side. We can keep eyes closed. Now next exercise for the neck, we have to cross our fingers like this, put it behind your head, and against the pressure of the palms we have to lift the neck up. While going down we don't have to apply any pressure, only we have to apply pressure only when the neck is coming up. Against the pressure of the palms and hands we have to lift the neck up 5 times. This increases the muscle strength of the neck. Now last exercise for the neck, we have to put the thumbs just below the bone of the chin, and against the pressure of thumbs you have to bring the neck down. We have to do it 5 times. Now next is we'll be stretching our legs. In the next exercise we move the toes and fingers inside outside 10 times. Move the toes and fingers inside outside 10 times. Now we have to move the entire foot inside outside, stretch it outside, pull it inside, stretch it outside, pull it inside 10 times. There will be a lot of stretching of the nerves, calf muscle nerves. All blood circulation will improve wherever there is stretching coming in. You have to do it 10 times. Now we'll move the both foot in circle. Minimum 5 circles in one direction and 5 circles in the reverse direction. Reverse. Next we'll stretch our legs and move it inside outside minimum 10 times. Next is butterfly. We have to cross our fingers like this and keep it as a cap on the 2 foot and move the knee up and down, up and down. It has to be done minimum 20 times. It is very good for the joints, hip joints. Next we will be standing now. Now we are doing Tadasana. Hands should be inverted. We have to come up on the toes and stay here as long as possible within the capacity. Then come down. Now circle up the hands. We have to move the hands back side. Then equal number forward. 4 to 5 times you have to make circles. Now the second hand, we have to keep the fist like this while going back and bring it in this position, in this form. Now both hands together. Reverse. Now stretch both hands forward, and now you have to go sideways and let the foot take a turn. You have to go minimum 5 times each side and go as much as possible without applying any impulse. Go very slowly and gently at the shoulder level. Let the tail leg take turn every time. It has to be done minimum 5 times each side. Now we'll be doing Konasana. In Konasana, one hand will be just sticking to the ear, the other hand will be sliding on the other foot, and we have to transfer entire weight on the hand which is sliding and go within your capacity, go down within your capacity, come up, then go to the other side, apply, transfer entire weight on the hand which is sliding, it will massage the muscles, go within your capacity. The knee should always remain straight. Knee should always remain straight. You should not fold the knees. If you fold the knees, then there will be no stretching and no benefit. And we don't have to compete with anybody in this exercise. Everybody has different elasticity in the body, so go within your capacity. Breathe out and go down. Minimum 5 times each side you have to go. Minimum 5 times each side. You have to go within capacity. Slowly and gently your fingers will touch the ground, but not initially. At least for 6 months it cannot touch. It will require minimum 6 months to touch the fingers to the ground, but knee should remain straight. Our objective is stretching. Now we have to breathe out, go down, touch the toe, opposite toe. One hand will be in the sky. We have to look to the hand which is in the sky. Breathe in and come up. Breathe out and go down. Breathe in and come up. Every time we have to come up. We should not go from the middle. We have to do minimum 5 times each side. If you have more time, then we can do more 10 or 10 times. Now stretch both hands forward, breathe out and take both hands back. Now we do Shavasana for few seconds because body gets tired, so we do Shavasana. In Shavasana we leave the legs, we leave the hands and leave the neck, let them take their own position. We don't hold any particular part of the body in any particular position. In this we take 5-10 breaths so that our entire body gets refreshed again for the next exercise. No tiredness will be left in the body. No fatigue will be left in the body if we do Shavasana in between. Now we'll be doing Surya Namaskar. We get lots of blessings from God's Son. Without Son we cannot live on this earth, so we have to express our gratitude to God's Son, and we thank God for the gratitude. We express our gratitude towards God's Son for His blessings. Now we start Surya Namaskar. We breathe in and take the hands backside, hands also and neck also, back side. Now breathe out and come down, touch the toes. Now jump, spread the legs, breathe in, hold the breath in, slide your hands on the back, go to the extent possible, don't stay on the back side, come back, jump. Hold the knees, put the palms on the ground, one leg back side, second leg back side. Both legs should be 4 to 6 inches apart, both legs should be parallel, there should be no bend in the knees, and stay here for a count of 50. This staying is very important and very beneficial. There will be lot of stretching on the back side of the legs and on the back also. Stay here for a count of 50. Then after a count of 50, we'll slide our hands forward, legs back side, go to the ground, invert the legs, breathe in and come up on palms, then breathe out and go down. Then again breathe in and come up on both palms and legs. Both legs should be parallel, knee should be straight, heels should go towards ground within your capacity. In beginning it is difficult to take the heels to the ground, but slowly it will go. But you have to be within your capacity, don't overstretch the body anyway. Here also again we have to stay here for a count of 50. Lot of stretching will be there. That stretching is the most important thing. Now we'll bring the one leg forward, second leg forward, touch the toes, jump, spread the legs, breathe in, hold the breath in, slide your hands on the back, go to the extent possible, don't stay on the back head, breathe out and come down, breathe in and go back, breathe in and come in, breathe out and come back. Now again we thank God's Son for His blessings. Without His blessings you would not have been alive. Now we'll be doing this Surya Namaskar 2 times, and now we'll be doing Udar Shakti Vikasa Kriya. In Udar Shakti Vikasa Kriya, it is for strengthening of the stomach, In this we will be bending 45 degrees, breathe out, hold the breath out, and then we'll move the stomach inside outside, and breath will remain outside. If we cannot hold the breath outside, we will come up again and breathe normally 2-3 times. Now I'm going 45 degrees down, breathing out, we have to take 3-4 breaths. Now I will be bending 90 degrees, again breathing out, holding the breath out, and I will move the stomach inside outside by holding the breath out. In 90 degrees it is more easier. Now next exercise for the stomach. I will bend on knees, then breathe out, hold the breath out, and I will squeeze the stomach inside. It is slightly difficult for the beginners, but slowly it will come. Next exercise for the stomach, it is called Neoli. It is more difficult. It will be possible only after a practicing of 1 year. In this we breathe out, squeeze the stomach inside, then bring the intestine in the middle, and then we try to move the intestine in a circular form. I will show. Do it again. This is called Nyoli. This improves the digestion and children can do very quickly, but elders take time. Now, Jangha Shakti Vikasa Kriya will stand in chair form, go down and stay here as long as possible. It's good for strengthening of the hips. Now second part. In this second part, we'll stand in a straight line. Hand should be spaced, and we'll go in a straight line, go down in the straight line as much as possible. And from there, we have to go to Shavasana because we cannot lift up again. Go to Shavasana. Release. Now I will be doing the lying down exercise. Now I will be doing I will be doing Pavan Muktasana. In Pavan Muktasana, we fold the knee, touch the chin to the knee and stay here. After you get tired, we have to change the legs. Now change the legs. You have to touch the chin to the knee. After we get tired, we do with both legs together. Chin will be just touching the knees. Now go to Shavasana. Now exercise for the back. It removes, this exercise has two parts. It removes the back pain, especially for ladies. There is a lot of back pain because they have been working at home. We fold the knees, spread the hands, palms towards ground, take the knee to one side and neck to the opposite side and stay here for a count of 40. Now after count of 40, change the side slowly to the other side, take the knees to the other side, neck to the opposite side and stay here for a count of 40. You can keep the eyes closed. There will be a lot of bending, stretching in the back, spinal cord. After count of 40, we have to go to Shavasana. And if somebody has the back pain, it should be repeated 3 times each side. There is another part of for removing the back pain. We have to cross our fingers, put it below head, lift one leg up, knee should be straight, take the knee to the other side, neck to the other side, elbow should always remain touching the ground, elbow should not be lifted. Take the leg to the other side as within your capacity and stay here for a count of 40. You can keep the eyes closed. You have to hold it for a count of 40, then go back, take the leg to the ground. Now lift the other leg now. The knee should be straight, elbow should be touching the ground and take the leg to the opposite side and neck to the reverse side and stay here for a count of 40. Those who have back pain, it is to be repeated 3 times each side. After a count of 40, come in the Shavasana position. Now we'll make circle of the legs. Those who want to reduce fatness of the hips, this is good exercise for them. We will make circles, minimum 5 circles in one direction, bigger and bigger circle, then 5 circles in the reverse direction. Knee should always remain straight. There should be no fold in the knees. Reverse thigh side. Those who want to take advantage, they can increase it slowly from 5 to 10. Now the other leg, we have to do the equal number of circles by the other leg and then equal number in reverse. Make bigger and bigger circle. Circles are to be made, can be made by both legs together, but it cannot be done by beginners because a lot of strength is required in the stomach muscles. What I will show as a demo. I will put both hands on the ground, lift both legs together, make circles by both hands, but it is very difficult for the beginners, so beginners should not try it. A lot of stretching comes in the stomach. It requires a lot of strength in the stomach muscles. Do it equal number in the reverse direction. Then go to Shavasana. Lot of tiredness come in this. Shavasana is a very important part of the yoga. If we keep doing Shavasana in between, there will be no footing left in the body. Now Padottanasana, both palms touching the ground, lift one leg up, 1 foot and hold it. The knee should remain straight and hold it for, when you get tired, keep it down slowly and then lift the other leg. 1 foot up, stay here. There will be a lot of stretching in the muscles of the stomach. Then we'll do with both hands, Dvipadottanasana. We take the hands back side, stretch the hand back side, tie them up by the thumbs, lift both legs up 1 foot. There will be a lot of stretching. Go to Shavasana when you get tired. We put the palms on the ground, lift one leg up, then second leg, then first leg. Do it 10 times. Our knee should always remain straight. Do it 10 times. There should be no fold in the knees. Now next, stretch your hands back side, tie them up by the thumbs, lift both legs together. There should be no bend in the knees. Take it as high as possible. For beginners it will be difficult, but do it within your capacity. Go as far as possible. Those who have practiced, their leg toe will touch the opposite end. Do it 10 times. Go to Shavasana after 10 times. Legs and head will come up 1 foot and we stay here as long as possible within our capacity. Slowly the capacity will increase, but you have to be within your capacity. If you get tired, go to Shavasana. Once you get tired, go to Shavasana. Will be lying down on the stomach. Both hands, both legs and head will go up. We have to stay here as long as we can. Then next is we do the Makarasana. Put both palms on the opposite shoulders, head in between them, and breathe in up to stomach and breathe out from the stomach 10 times. In this, entire breath goes up to stomach and comes out from the stomach. It increases the strength of the muscles of the stomach. Next is Sarpasan. We have to lift up on the palms, breathe in and lift up, look to the front. Then try to see you by the side. You try to see your heels from your side. Now go to Vishram position. This is just reverse of Shavasana. Put both palms on the ground, lift one leg up as long as possible, hold it there. Once you get tired, bring it down slowly. Then the other leg, hold it there as long as possible. When you get tired, bring it down. Now lift both legs together and hold it there as long as possible. When you get tired, slowly go down and go to Vishram position. Hold up the ankles. We have to breathe in and breathe in up to stomach and hold the breathe in stomach and come up. When you get tired, go down. Go to Vishram position. Do Urdhva Sarvangasana and Halasana. In Urdhva Sarvangasana, we go to the back side. First we'll just roll down like this, make a bracket, then lift up the legs up, make it as vertical as possible. Now take one leg back side, knee should be straight, then second leg back side, knee should always remain straight. Do it 10 times. Now cycling, do it 20 times. Now reverse cycling, times. Now Halasana, take both legs back side, knee should be straight, there should be no bend in the knees. Now side both hands, take the toes to the ground and stay here as long as possible. Some basic Shavasana. It is difficult for the beginners, so the beginners can do the Ardha Chakrasana like this. This is Ardha Chakrasana, lift the body as long as possible. Hold the legs. Now I will show the Purna Chakrasana. It will come up after a few days. It cannot be done by the beginners. We'll put some roadblock. कब तक आप हैं? Now I will breathe in and come up on both legs. Difficult for the beginners, but it can be done after some time. Now Shavasana. Shavasana is both very important. Will leave the body, let the hands take their own position, legs take their own position, neck also will take its position. We don't have to hold any part of the body in any particular position. Now we'll be doing Yog Mudra. In this Yog Mudra we'll breathe out and go down. And if you can tie the hands, it's okay. If you cannot tie, beginners cannot tie, so I'm showing without tying. Breathe out and go down, once in the middle, once in the side, again in the middle, then again on the other side. We do it 20 times. Those who can hold their legs, hold the hands, it is difficult, it's okay. If you cannot hold, no problem. If you hold the hands, the chest will come out. Do it 20 times. Those who fatness, they can do it more number of times. Now next is we lift one leg with the support of both hands to bring it as possible within capacity. Children will be able to do very easily, and their legs can go even behind their head, but it not the practice. Now Paschimottanasana. We catch hold of the toes by 2 fingers and thumb and slide our heels towards forward and take it as much as possible within your capacity and hold it there. Pull the toes inside and hold it for a count of 50. Now leave it. After leaving, we have to massage our muscles. Slide your hands forward 5 times. Put entire force on the hands so that muscles will get relieved. Now fold one knee and both hands on the same leg. Go as far as possible. Slide the hands. Now the other leg. Put entire force on the hands so all muscles will get relieved. Now Ardha Matsyendrasana. Now before that we can do touch the opposite toe, breathe out and take the hands to the opposite toe, minimum 10 times each side. This will reduce the fatness of the stomach and will also make the muscles more supple and flexible. You have to do minimum 10 times. Those who want to reduce fatness of the stomach can do it 20 times each side. Now Ardha Matsyendrasana. It is a bit difficult for the beginners, but slowly it will go. We have to look back, change the sides. Now the back side. Now we will do Ustrasana. Raise both hands up. Take the hands and neck to the back side as much as possible. If you can touch the heels, it's okay. If you cannot touch, don't worry. Stay here. Then come back. Sit in Vajrasana position. Put one hand on the navel center, other above it. Breathe out and go down. This is called Kurmasana. I'm going in Kurmasana. Come up, breathe in and come up. Now change the hands. Breathe out and go back again. Go down again. Now change the hands. Increase overlapping slowly. Breathe out and go down. Breathe in and come up. Change the hands. Increase overlapping. Again change the hands. Increase overlapping. Now Shavasana. Shavasana is most important. We must not skip Shavasana, otherwise fatigue will be left in the body. Shavasana will remove your tiredness.